My name is John Moore and I am a father, a carer and a firefighter emergency services worker. Well, I first got involved as being a carer when my daughter started showing signs of mental distress, mental illness. We didn't know anything about it at the time, and we researched and used resources, both NGOs and government resources, to actually learn about mental illness. And it took a long time for my daughter to get diagnosed with mental illness. So it's sort of something we knew nothing about at all, and then we grew into it due to circumstances. With my daughter, her mental illness started when she was around 12 years old. We didn't know at the time that she was having a mental illness or was self-harming for about 2 years. So she was a high-level sports person. She was doing competitive cheerleading. She was an Australian national champion, and the pressures from the coaching staff were what we expected it to be. And she'd come home from training and say, I got a headache, and we were just saying, drink more water, and nothing was obvious until it broke loose a little bit later, when she started self-harming. And that's when we then put two and two together and come up with, we now recognise the symptoms of mental illness. So we've been caring for her. She's 18 now, so 4.5, 5 years with a diagnosed mental illness that have been directly her carer. But before that, it was just parental responsibilities and complete unawareness of what she was going through. To be a carer above being a parent or in conjunction with being a parent is a difficult thing. It's a matter of finding out over time the triggers, managing those triggers, managing the pressures, appointments. It's an ongoing process. It's a growth process through that as well. And because we knew nothing about the mental illness side of things, everything became new. So to care for her and grow into that role as a carer, it was quite a difficult thing to do because we started with nothing from scratch. We found we had a lot of trouble, and that's why we become very passionate carers and learn a lot about the system. There's no black and white answer. It's not a perfect thing. It's a dynamic environment for every carer and every child, be it a parental influence only works with bringing your child up. When they've got an illness, you've got to rely on the experts to help you. They're there, they do, and they did. I've found personally the most rewarding and positive aspects of being a carer is improved communication and seeing my daughter smile. The little goals along the way, like 7 days self-harm free. Her ability to take a next step and go out in the public and beat her anxiety, to now declare 30 days hospital free. They're all little goals, so there's no one goal that I'm aiming for. It's a continuation of small goals put together to get a bigger picture. So there's no cure, there's no end game, but it's a management game all the way through. And we're utilising, those therapies to help achieve those little goals. Every day is a success. There's bumps in the road, but we don't take them as a negative. We take them as a continuation to improvement. And we manage the bump, and then we progress further beyond that bump. To look after myself, that's a work of progression as well. Initially, being a father, you're proud of your children, you're proud of your relationship, you're proud of your work, and that's where the emergency services ties in. So initially, I hid it from everyone. We didn't communicate well at home, and because we both hid the fact that our daughter had an illness, we thought it was a personal thing, so we kept it to ourselves. Through the growth of being a carer, I then opened up. And I was able to open up and talk to people outside of the family unit. I've found now that there's so many people with similar stories. Having peer support, professional supports, and being able to talk to it clearly and with no expectations has helped me care for myself. I also have my days. And my day is I might go spend a day doing my hobby or half a day doing my hobbies. I go fishing, I love sitting on the beach and just listening to the waves, nothing else. Don't listen to what's going on in my head, don't think about any situations, and you train yourself over time to enjoy that. With my daughter, we laugh every day, and with the family unit, we make sure we laugh every day. Me time also involves shopping. I'll go buy something I want within expectations, and I make sure that the other members of the family unit do that as well. And I found that makes you feel good. Mentally, I stay sharp, I read, I study when I get the opportunity, and I also stay fit. Not that I'm an athlete by any means. I try and eat well. I believe that eating well helps you sleep, stops those thoughts going through your head of a night time. So yeah, fitness and mentally proactive, be it on an iPad or a task in the garage or the shed or something like that. Just do something to keep you mentally fit as well as eating. That's what I found works for me. Mental illness is really, to me, anything that doesn't allow a person to function socially, financially, studiously, like at schools or at work, or I see symptoms of people withdrawing, not wanting to participate in certain activities. So mental well-being is being where I can take care of myself, my daughter can take care of herself, or provide opportunities for my peers to communicate and take care of themselves. So mental well-being ties in with how I look after myself. I keep myself sharp. I also try and give that ability to others to spend time. It's a good feeling to give as part of my therapy, and other people are also able to take care of that with their own mental well-being. There needs to be a lot of work that needs to be done, and ongoing work for mental illness in the community. It's something that 15, 20 years ago wasn't there. It was always there, but the awareness, the availability of resources is growing. It's exponentially growing with the growth in population, and associated with the people we're going to have all the normal increase in requirements for hospitalisation for physical injuries, but we can't forget the mental injuries as well. We're trying to advocate for improved and increased availability of mental health services. So we've got a growth in NGOs, but we've got the core is the hospitalisation side of things. We've got a brand new centre being built at Campbelltown Hospital, an improvement in bed size, 50%. But we're advocating for increased number of staffing there. That will come. That's part of a process of growth for the area. But I also see other things that need to be done, such as mental health awareness training for professionals, for agencies that are associated with first response to a person that might be in crisis and is in a location that could be threatening. We need those emergency responders to actually have that awareness training so they can understand the situation and not increase the anxiety of a person with mental illness, as an example. My advice for any person that's struggling with mental health, mental illness, or as a carer is to ask for help. And there's many NGOs out there that can offer advice. There's the telephone lines support, there's physical places to go, and there's the professionals within the health service as well. So don't hold it in anymore. Don't be reluctant to get help. It's out there, and that's your first step to caring for yourself or caring for someone else, is to talk about it with a professional, and they will guide you in that direction. As part of my growth within the mental health awareness and as a carer is the advocacy for improved mental health and more mental health services. Last year, for example, I walked to Canberra from Campbelltown Mawson Park down to Parliament House in Canberra, where we met with politicians and expressed the need for improved mental health services and awareness in Macarthur district. Advocacy is continuing all the time with I see it at work, where we've got support systems in place and awareness training, and also what we're doing in the community locally. So it's a matter about communication, and communication has never been so important for mental health issues. We've got a support group, Macarthur Mental Health Carers Support Group, and that's available through social media. If any carers in Macarthur would like to access that as an additional support service, or where they feel they don't have to be face-to-face, or they can remain anonymous, that's what the support, the social media support group's there for. So within that support group there, we don't give answers, but we give direction to other support services that may be available, or professionals, and what to do with the person you're caring for. When we turned up for the start of the walk, friend of ours made a t-shirt up. We wore them on the day, and just the look on her face was priceless. It was brilliant. I don't know whether she really read a lot into what we were doing, but you know, I had 400 people at Mawson Park. I had Channel 9 there, C91.3, and it was just a huge event. And we walked from Mawson Park to Koshigaya Park, and there was 400 people walking for mental health, and that was pretty bloody good. My daughter now cares for other people with mental illness, and she's actually completed, I've got 2 weeks to go, Cert 3 in community services, the very first step for nursing. So she's done that while she's got mental illness, and she's doing that on her own. A little bit of support, but we're pushing her to do it that herself, and she's got through that as well as caring for other people. So she's amazing, absolutely amazing.